All right, today we're looking at the STOXX Europe 600 Index. The ticker would be SXXP, and here's the ticker. That's if you want to look this up. So if you're looking at European stocks, you can see from this high in September of 2000 to the high here in September of 2024 was 288 months, high to high. And as you are making the high in sync with the Gann cycle, remember 144 would be 12 years, 288 months would be 24 years. So it's a big cycle. And you're doing it as you meet with resistance at the 1x1 line drawn up from low. You can see it offered active support here, here. Now it's offering active resistance for pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 months. It just could not get above it. And it topped in sync with the Gann cycle. So this is what you'd call a time and price setup. Or, if you like, a very non-random walk. For all you random walkers, take a hike. For anyone who has a brain, I would say that you look at time, you look at price, and when they come together, you look for a change in trend. So a big cycle like this, coming due as you meet at the 1x1 line, hey, that's a setup for Gann. It means you should be looking for a sell-off. Now, if you look at this and you say, well, what about how do you know how far it's going to sell off? Well, the truth is you don't. That's the reason we have these 1/8 retracements. You don't know for sure. It might sell off here. It might find support here. But you're going to look for the next cycle, a 36-month cycle, down from this low to low. If it rallied 288 months high to high, maybe it'll do 36 months low to low. It's possible. But you keep an open mind. Price is not as important as time. You know the big information here is the 288-month cycle. And the 1x1 giving you resistance is a great setup. You know you're going to get a sell-off when you take out 482, which would be 1/8 division down from high. It gave you support here. You take that out, boom, you're going down at least to here, probably down here. I think down here. But the market will tell you, you don't need to know right now. You need to know when it's September of 2025. If it's down here and it bounces off this line, hey, maybe that's a low. Now, one other thing I would show you is if you go here, follow my cursor, that's the square. We're doing the square of the range. We're 3/4 of the way through the square in time. And, that's exactly when the 288-month cycle came due in September. A few months later, as we got into December, it started to sell off. Why did it sell off in December? Because that's when you completed that 3/4 division. Halfway, 1/4, 3/4, full square. I don't know what's going to happen out here, but in March of 2030, that's a little bit far out, there will be some sort of change in trend. It'll be important. You complete the square in time, you know it's a big deal. But right now we're focused on what's happening as of December. It started to sell off. You're going to get follow-through selling. When you take out this support here, you'll go down here and then maybe all the way down here. Remember that 36-month cycle I told you about? Well, it's also 12 months down from high. So 36, 12, and if we looked, we could probably find other cycles. I'm just saying it's a logical target for a low. It doesn't mean it has to bottom at that time, but I'll be watching it. And if it's selling off hard and it finds support on one of these Gann retracements, hey, then I'll have a pretty good idea that it is a low. Remember, the 3/4 division in time of the square is very important. That 288-month cycle is very important. And also note here, if this is the square, you can put a square on top of a square, and it turns out, let me just do this, that would be the top of the second square. We didn't get there. Why? Because we stopped halfway up the second square in price. So that's a very, it's like a 50% division of that second square. And that's an important resistance level. So if the 1x1 had not stopped the rally, I'm pretty sure that this level here around 533 would have stopped it. So 528, that's where it found a high. And it did it in sync with the Gann cycle. So I really like that. It's a great setup. Now, you can argue that, hey, it's all just luck. Well, I'm telling you, this is not luck. I'm not guarantee a winning trade. I'm just saying 3/4 division in time, 288-month cycle coming due, resistance at the 1x1. If you want more convincing, wait for a close below this division here at 471, almost 472. Let's call it 471. When you close below 471, hey, you're going to be well on your way down here. So keep an eye on this market. I think it's interesting. I think it's worth your time to follow through, see what it's doing by the time we get to September. No guarantee, but if you start taking out serious Gann support, especially this former high at 405, you're probably going down here. So let's take it one step at a time. Let's see how it plays out.